Hello everyone. The research question I'm exploring is, does transparency of an AI system used in a decision-making process change how much responsibility is attributed on the human decision maker? And the specific process that I'm using is university applications in Turkey, because in Turkey each university applicant gets only one university offer per year, so it's a unique decision-making process that the responsibility is very high. Human-computer interaction research so far found out some patterns changing how humans attribute trust and responsibility on AI, and two of these important findings are transparency and the task characteristics. So more transparent an AI system is, more responsibility a human can attribute from them to AI using a process. However, the task that AI is conducting is also important. If the task itself requires human intelligence or interpersonal skills, then the overall trust and responsibility we attribute is less. An example I can share is for chatbots, for instance. For their advice on health and finance, people report higher trust, but not for parenting. So it's a similar case to my research question. So here the independent variable we have is, of course, introducing a transparent AI to the decision-making process. And how I'm going to do this is introducing three different scenarios. One, in such a decision-making process for university applications, there is no AI used, which is current group, and you may call this the control scenario. The other two scenarios is an AI service that reports its accuracy rate, which is a transparency factor, and another scenario, an AI system being used in the decision-making process without reporting its accuracy rate. So these are three different scenarios, which are going to be the independent variables that I will compare across. The dependent variable in this case is a score of attributed responsibility on the human decision maker in this process, on the human that's using a transparent or non-transparent AI. So the method that I'm planning to do is surveying 500 university students, assuming 150 responses for each scenario, between 19 to 24 years old, of course randomly sampled and balanced for gender. And the analysis that I'm planning to use is comparing the mean differences of the attributed responsibility on the human AI by ANOVA test. So simply we will ask three different scenarios to three different groups, which are randomly sampled from this audience that I just described, and we will ask how much responsibility they attribute to the human decision maker if there is no AI in the process, if there is a transparent AI, and if there is a non-transparent AI. Because the task characteristic itself requires like human intelligence, human research, and interpersonal skills, my main hypothesis is, regardless of there is a transparent AI or not, the mean score of attributed responsibility will not be different statistically across these three scenarios. So actually, in my main hypothesis, I expect not to find statistical significantly difference on the attributed responsibility on the decision maker. On the other hand, still the transparency is also a factor. So even if not statistically significant, I expect the responsibility on the human decision maker to be slightly more when there is no transparency in the scenario, because in the scenario that we have transparent AI, maybe slightly more responsibility can be attributed to AI rather than the human. So this is the second supporting hypothesis I have. And the biggest weakness in this study is how abstract human trust and responsibility concepts are, and for that I mainly used the organizational psychology literature so far. And of course, more the sample size, better would be the results, but this is a feasibility concern. Thank you very much. Looking forward to your questions and comments.